Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So today we're going to kind of be talking about, I guess, the gearing up process in Grim Dawn and kind of like the steps you take and, I guess how much gear affects your character in Grim Dawn as to show you where a lot of the customization comes from. So this is my level 72 Conjurer that I'm playing right now in the Hardcore Ultimate difficulty, which is the most difficult, I guess, the highest difficulty you can play on. And we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. And I want to show you guys some of the really cool features of this game. So, alright. Since we're going to just be pretty much talking about gear and the progression, let me get started on your rarity tiers of gear. So, you have, to begin with, white items. After white, you get rare, which is yellow. After yellow, you get blue. Sorry, after yellow, you get green. After green, you get blue. And after blue, you get purple. These are the tiers of your gear. Now, in Grim Dawn, legendary pieces, aka purple pieces, are absolutely ridiculously insane. And the way Grim Dawn works is it's kind of new compared to other games in the sense of, pretty much every legendary piece of gear will have a proc chance attached to it. Grim Dawn is heavily based off proc chances. Maybe if you're playing a pet build, it's different. But for example, my chest piece. Enemies who strike you become diseased with a deadly contagion that continues to spread beyond the host. Has a 1-second recharge when you get hit, 3-second duration, deals vitality damage, and allows me to leech per second. My whole build is vitality damage, so this is perfect, right? You gotta find your min-max pieces. Also, it gives +2 to Black Death and +2 to Bloody Pohx, which are occultist skills that I use on my character. Well, I don't use them, but in general. There's another one, Bone Weave Leggings. It gives me the damage I want, gives me Vitality Resist, Chaos Res, but again, another proc chance. Has a 33% chance when hit to summon a Sigil. You can see this, it's called Sigil of Consumption. It deals 1,044 Vitality damage. 40% of it is converted to health. If I look at mine right now, I have a level 3 Sigil of Consumption that does 352 damage. Like, literally, if I put 10 points into this skill, it would still be less damage than the proc off my legs. Meaning my legs give me more damage than a level, I think I have +2 to it, so a level 14 Sigil of Consumption. My pants still win, I believe. It's pretty fucking insane. Alright. So, yesterday I think I went a little bit about components. I don't know how much I talked about it, so I want to go into that as well, because these are things that you attach to your pieces of gear. So, in Grim Dawn, to customize and enhance your character, remember, because your goal is to actually get a bunch of resists. Right now we just started Ultimate, so I am taking quite a hit to my resists at the moment, but you have components in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and open up some of my components. So you have smaller ones, which is like a battered shell is a 1 of 3 component piece, right? And you have things that are fully completed, like a rigid shell, for example, right? Gives you 10 physique, 24 armor, and lightning res can be used in all armor, meaning it can be used in every piece. You have certain ones that are limited to, just rings, certain ones that are limited to just amulets, certain ones that are limited to, main hand, offhand, just chest piece. Customization goes on and on with that. Also, there are some really, really, really niche ones. I think I found one here somewhere. It's one, Kill Ryan. It's called Kill Ryan Shattered Soul. Just one of it, a 1 of 4, gives 10% fire damage, 10% vitality, 5% resist, and flat vitality damage. That's a 1 of 4 piece. That's insane. Like, 10% damage is essentially like a skill point in a buff. Right here. So it's pretty insane where it comes from in there. Furthermore, after you get, all that sorted out, like for example, in my legs I've got Silk Swatch, which gives like bleed and pierce. My chest piece has bleed and pierce. Since I don't really need more damage, on my main hand weapon, I have an aura for Chaos Res, and in my offhand I have an aura for Aether Res. My shoulders have a component for Cold Res. My gloves have a component for Vitality damage, Cunning, Vitality Resist, Bleed Resist. Boots have movement speed. Belt has Poison and Acid. My metal has Vitality damage and total speed. My helmet, again, there's just so much shit you can do. But going on into that as well, in the Devotion tree, just talking about proc chances really quickly, anytime you see a red thing like this, it's most likely a skill that's going to be attached to a skill that you have to add a proc. So for example here, in Wendigo, I've got Devouring Swarm selected, and it has a chance to proc the following when you see it. 12-second duration, 2,000 vitality damage, 100% of it is converted to health. Grim Dawn is solely based on proc chances with what you're able to do. Now, I talked about crafting the other day, and I kind of want to go into it more. There's these things called relics that you use, and I'm using a pretty shitty relic right now. It's nothing too crazy. It gives 8% physique, minus physique requirement for armor, 20% pierce resist, chance at stun retaliation, and Sanctuary absorbs 1,500 damage when it's on, well, against physical damage, and has a 32-second recharge. It's okay, but I found some recipes. Actually, fuck, I can't show you in this difficulty. Let me switch difficulties. We just started this one. But relics are a pretty big part of this game, and this is kind of where a lot of the grind comes in Grim Dawn as well. Let's go over there and find it. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got like tier 1 / tier 2 relics, I'll say. Actually, they're technically all tier 1 here. Calamity, Corruption, Equilibrium, Glacier, Inferno, Rampage, Ruination, Sanctuary, Squall, and there's more, I'm sure. As you get more recipes, you'll unlock more. And each one of these is made for specific builds, you know? So these are like the tier 1. So the tier 1 that I want is called Corruption. And I could get it relatively easily. But I don't really need it right now. But anyway, Corruption, you can see, adds chaos damage, poison, cast speed, whatever. It's nothing that I really need. However, I want to get, I think it's called Sacrifice, which is right here. Sacrifice gives me vitality damage, bleed resist, you know, an active where it takes 100 health per second, but I get movement speed and 50% vitality damage. It's alright. It's really good for like melee builds or builds that use attacks, but in general, it's nice to have a movement speed sprint. Now, to get Sacrifice, I need to craft Guile. So I have to go up here, look for Guile, wherever the hell Guile is. I don't think I have Guile. And I would need to craft Guile. However, I'd also need to craft Torment. Oh, that's the one I want, actually. I think it's called Torment. Where's Torment? Torment's here. So to get Sacrifice, I need to craft Guile and I need to craft Torment. Torment wants me to craft Guile, Corruption, and Squall. Here's what Torment does. Vitality damage, vitality resist, leech rate, or leech resist. Torment. This is actually the one I want. 25% chance when hit to deal vitality damage, reduce their total speed, which is movement speed, attack speed, cast speed, and their physical resist. And it lasts 5 seconds. And I don't think it even has a cooldown. However, it doesn't stop there because the mythical relics, I kind of wanted Necrosis. Because Necrosis is 56% vitality, health, a shit ton of physique, casting speed, offense ability, reduces their offense ability retaliation, then gives me a buff, or not gives me a, is it giving me a buff? Yeah, it's a curse I get. It's another curse I get, which deals a crap ton of damage, alright? Lowers movement speed, Aether, Chaos, Elemental resist. To get Necrosis, I need to get Guile, again, Corruption, Squall, and I need Kill Ryan, Shattered Soul, which is only off like a boss at the end of a dungeon, which I'd have to farm because it has like a 30% drop rate for a 1 of 4 piece. That was that 1 of 4 piece I showed you that goes on my chest piece. So there is a lot of farming involved if you want to, you know, if you are that ARPG lover, if you want to do the min-maxing, you know, the game is there. It does have it. It does offer it. Also, when you go up in difficulties, you do lose, you get hit with resistance penalties. And it almost feels like Path of Exile in a way where you're trying to maneuver your gear to get, you know, resistance wherever you can, because you don't wanna get hit and just die from, you know, a penalty. So, and this game can be pretty fucking mad. Like, I'd say I'm pretty tanky. I have 13k life and in like probably like 10k life regen per second in combat, if you guys have seen. And I have taken a hit before with capped res in normal when I was doing a boss. I have taken a hit for 7,800 before. That's a lot of damage. 7,800? Wow, item level 44. I'm level 72. I don't know how I feel about that. I've killed 41,000 monsters. Elapsed time played. 1 day, 8 hours, and 54 minutes. That's not bad. I've synced quite a lot of time into this character. Shit. Total deaths 94. That's not good. We're slacking, boys. Anyway, that's pretty much going to cover it for now with Grim Dawn. If you guys have any questions at all, you know, please feel free to drop them down below. I'm probably only going to be playing for maybe like 1 or 2 more days, and then it's off to Warcraft 3 week. But if you're interested, you can always catch the stream live at twitch.tv/Pohx. Hope you guys had a wonderful time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thanks so much for the support, everybody.